Okay, so today we are going to come up with a creative way to pull dents out of an exhaust downpipe. This pipe came out of a 1977 MGB. This is a barn find. We've been converting it from a rubber bumper to a chrome bumper and doing a lot of engine stuff on it. And today we're working on the exhaust system. One of the things with these older cars is a lot of times the tires will go flat and the car will lay on its belly. And unfortunately, with an already low-profile vehicle, that means that the exhaust pipes and whatnot can become damaged, just from over time being pushed around or whatever. Laying on its belly is not a good thing for any car, but in this case, the damage is in very thoroughly dented exhaust downpipe. This is one of the lowest parts of the car. And you can see normally you'd look at it and you say, oh, that's not a big deal. But when you look at this particular pipe, it's already at a bend right here, so the radius gets reduced. But when you reduce the radius and then add a bend, I think that's going to be way too much of an obstruction. So we're going to try to pull this dent out. Now, there's a lot of different ways to do that. Some people would cut it out and then just weld it back. That's an option. I don't want to go quite there. That's my nuclear option if I have to get there. I don't think that this dent is too much of a deal because, like I said, it doesn't really change the radius too much. In this case, it's pretty severe. So we're going to focus on this side. What we're going to do is we're going to bang it out from the inside. And how do you swing a hammer on the inside of a pipe? Well, you don't. But what you can do is you can support the inside of the pipe with something rigid and then bang on the outside edges, and that should bring it true. And so the way that I think I'm going to do that is what I've got here is a series of half-inch sockets, and they range in size from this nasty old one here. It's 15/16 up to 1.1 inch. I don't know if I'll be able to get all the way to 1.1 inch on the inside of that radius, but I'll certainly be able to get here. And I don't know if I can get this over the top of the next part of the apparatus here. This is a piece of threaded stock, and I've squared off the end there to fit inside the sockets here. And so the idea here is we're gonna put the socket over the top like this, and then run another bolt in. And what that'll give us is this rigid section of the socket right here. We can hammer against that over the top of the pipe, and hopefully that will give us what we need to make a change in the pipe. So that's the plan. I'm going to go ahead and put the camera on the tripod here and do a time lapse. Let's see if we can speed it up. See if we can make a difference here. We'll just go a little bit at a time. And the other thing I want to mention real quick here, this little tree stump. I use this for bending metal. It's really great. It gives you a surface that is a wide area. We don't want to bang on the top and bend the bottom, and we don't want to cause any kind of deformation. This will absorb shock, and because it's much larger than the area that we're hitting, it'll prevent from denting from the back side here. So hitting on the end of the end grain will keep the wood from flexing, and it's good hardwood. And I think that's going to be a really good solution. All right, so let's see if this works. This is a complete experiment. You will find out as soon as I do whether or not this will be successful. All right, so I've got everything all set up. I've made some registration marks here. You can see starting right here. It goes out 8 inches, marking 1/2 inch every time. And that's really just so that I can use these marks. Starting right here, it matches up where they meet up, right? And these are every 1 inch, because if I did every 1/2 inch, you wouldn't be able to read it because of the grooves. But also, once you get it in 1/2 inch, you won't be able to see the mark. So you'll be able to gauge where you're at. Just count from behind, it's less to look at. The other thing I did is I added a washer on the back here so that you know, when I get it in there and I want to take it out, I can hit it with a hammer and it will come back out this way. So okay, I'm going to go ahead and get started on this, and we'll likely speed up the video as we go, but hopefully I can just tap at it with this little ball peen. I won't have to go at it with the BFH, but let's see if we can make a difference. Okay. 6, 7, 8. All right, so I am right about there. I'll go ahead and tap it in a little bit. Beat on this. Okay, so you can see I've made a little bit of an improvement up to here. It's a little chunky, but it's looking a little better. I'm gonna go ahead and put the next sizer socket on here, see if we can get this to smooth out a little bit, and then we'll continue on here. It's gonna get harder and harder because once I get to here, it's gonna get a little harder to get to, but we'll make a difference. All right, so you can see I've got it all the way up to here now. You can actually see a ridge where the socket is. I'm going to reduce the size of the socket and move past that. It's going to start getting thinner here. So I think it actually it's perfect because it shows where the end of that socket is, where it, as far as it can go that direction. I'm going to go ahead and reduce it and see if we can get a little bit more out of this little area here. Alright, so I'm going to move on to a little smaller socket, but the problem with this is this socket is smaller than this bolt. So I'm going to need to make it longer so that I can get that in there. So we're going to take a pause here on the video and make some adjustments to the tool so that I can get a smaller socket in there to go a little deeper into this next section. But I think at this point we can call this pretty successful. You see I've been able to reclaim all of this. It was dented all the way to here and it's all coming back. Just need to get this little section here without tearing the pipe, and hopefully we can do that with this smaller socket. Alright, so we got the smaller socket on there now. All right, that did the number. The dent is completely gone. So I wouldn't call it brand new, but it no longer has an obstruction. You can see the curve is not obstructed at all. Comes around, all that dent has been removed. So I don't think we'll have to worry about the banana in the tailpipe on this. I think it's going to have some really good flow. So there you go. That's how to take the dents out of a pipe, working on a 1977 MGB. If you have any questions or comments, please leave your comments in the comment section. And if you like this video, if it was helpful in helping you solve any of your problems, please subscribe. It helps the channel. Thanks. Have a good day.